They served in France, Belgium, Italy, Ireland, Salonika, Egypt, Russia, Mesopotamia, Serbia, and on the high seas. Some did not return.
Well, I'm Mike Cross. I come from an old Spalsbury family. My grandfather had a brother Alf, and he always had a cousin called Alf. So there are two Alf Crosses, a couple of years apart, in the same school at Spalsbury, both Alf Cross, both went to war. The other Alf went to the Far East, I believe. When I really got further into learning about my family, it was his brother that grabbed my attention. So that's Sergeant Alf Cross. My biggest thing with Uncle Alf is the fact that he won the DCM, and that was during the German retreat of 1917.
It's lovely of him,
It's
isn't
not
it?
too stiff, is it?
No, I mean, that was Dad. He was never stiff and starchy
yes.
or anything like that, you know. He was just nice. There was a photograph taken before, as they called it, the push. I'm going to pronounce it portiere because I don't know if that's right or not. And there were 33 men on the photograph of that platoon. This was taken, as you can see, after, and there are 11.
Did he talk much about it?
No, one or two funny stories, but we never heard anything of the unpleasant side of it.
No.
You know.
And he was mentioned in dispatches?
Yes, he was, yes. So I don't know what that was for. In the book it says, and duly awarded the oak leaves, so I don't know what he did that merited that award, but obviously it was something quite noticeable, you know.
My grandmother lived in this cottage, moved in here in 1906, pregnant with her second child, then had 6 more children on top of that.
In this cottage?
In this same cottage, yes. And her husband died in the First World War. Then her son that she was pregnant with when he got killed.
What was his name then?
Harry Harris.
Oh, right.
Down in the church on the memorial.
Yes, I know.
Yes. Both grandfather and uncle. And the one that she was pregnant with when he went to war and got killed was unfortunate to get killed in the Second World War.
But it was the only hall. We had no church hall as such, like a lot of places do. So everything that went on in the village hall.
My highlight of Spalsbury Village Hall is in the, I should imagine it would be the very early 30s, when I first went there. As I walked through them doors, a huge place, I thought, all the chairs were lined out, and it sticks in my memory. I can see it now.
Lots of happy memories, not a sad memory of the village hall at all, not ever.
All Americans were in Ditchley Park.
Ditchley and Thornbury.
Yeah, they was one of the first lot to go out, and most of them.
What did they do at Ditchley? Did they use that as some sort of place?
This big camp.
Yeah, it was hard in the wartime when the stuff wasn't about, you know, and we were brought up on dry bread and potatoes and marmite.
We were given bundles of khaki wool, were you? To knit scarves for the soldiers. Yes, we used to knit, and socks. The hall was used for that. We had big structures put into the village hall, and Granny got involved, so she used to take me down, and we used to have to weave all these khaki strips in to make all the things for the soldiers.
I was christened William John Venn Conduct. My father was brought up here, although he wasn't born here. His father, Ernest, was the village schoolmaster. He was appointed to the school here as headmaster. He and his wife ran the school. My father remembered the day when he was chasing some truants up the village street with a cane in one hand and a clenched fist in the other.
Oh yeah, you couldn't really do anything wrong because you give the cane. Actually, when I left school, decorators went in there and they were decorating the school, and they used to have a wooden vent in the corner of the room where she put the canes.
Right.
I looked looked in there and the cane was still in there.
Really?
Well, my son went to the school, yes, as a little boy, and I started teaching, doing supply teaching there and helping, because when the school, when we came here, my son was just 4, and that was the what they called the bulge, you know, with the births after the war.
On the Monday, when we used to do our big wash, we used to have, there was the neighbours over the road in the 2 cottages. One used to make the tea 1 week, always at 3 in the afternoon, and the other 2 lots were asked over, and then we all had a turn once in 3 weeks that we asked each other over, and we used to have a cup of tea together for about an hour, and you know, it was quite nice. They were very friendly.
And the old roadman that used to come with a scythe on the back of his on his push bike, and the local policeman from Mr. Vickers from Chorlbury used to pedal up on his push bike and stand by the village hall. But in those days, if the boys were having because that was the main meeting point.
Well, the fountain.
The fountain.
Cottages in the top part of Spelsby village had to collect water from the fountain roughly in the centre of the village. Sometimes 2 or 3 housewives met there together and stopped for a gossip. We children often played or sat in and around the fountain and listened to the grown-ups' conversation, all the time pretending to mind our own business.
And there was one old lady that I only knew as Bella. She said, "I've just been to get my water." And she said, I've got my water for the day, so I shan't be down again. And the water was a jug that size, and that was for everything. You can imagine what she was like.
But Bella used to have a goes under, potty under the bed, but you could be walking down the road and she'd throw it out the window. You had to duck.
We were the first ones, my name Eels, first ones to have electricity in Tarston.
Yes, years ago they had time for you because they weren't always chasing about like they are today.
But village life in those days, you didn't really have to call a doctor or anybody out if anybody was ill, because there was always somebody about that knew what to do.
And nearly every cottager kept pigs.
This Mr. Leach used to come from Enston every now and again, and this pig would squeal.
It was absolutely fantastic to watch him kill the pig.
You watched him kill it?
Oh, definitely, yes.
You weren't screaming?
No, and watched him cut it up.
The next thing was, there was a pig hanging up by the fireplace in muslin, and a new pig in the sty.
When did they pass on?
I can't remember now. I know that Mr. Dunn died in about 1960 something, I think. I know we dug a grave in the dark.
Really?
With lamplight.
Did you help dig the grave?
Yeah, I helped my mate dig a grave. Yeah.
Amazing. In what, the local church?
Yeah, in the local churchyard. Yeah.
So you could choose the gravestone.
And Miss Corbett. Yeah.
I go to the church and I ring the bells, and we try and support anything that's going on at the village hall.
There's not many people that go to church, but those that do, I suppose, are keeping it in good repair and those sort of things. I do the flowers and run the flower rota. We've got a nice lot of people that help with the flowers in the church. So Joan Maley at the top, she's a church warden, so she does an awful lot for the church.
This is David Cameron, and I'm Member of Parliament for Witney, which really should be called West Oxfordshire because it's the whole of the district of West Oxfordshire.
Yes, I enjoy living here.
Because it's still a village, it's small, well in those days you knew everybody.
Very friendly. I mean, I came to Dean in about 1999 after I was selected as the candidate, and it's such a lovely village. I mean, you can see it's such a beautiful surroundings, and people are extremely friendly.
Good morning. Good morning. If you need anything, there's always somebody on hand.
I like the peace and quiet. There's an atmosphere of serenity.
I just like the community spirit that you get in a village. I like to know who my neighbours are. And people are very friendly here as well. They've always got time to stop and chat to you.
What do you mean by village life? You're
Community.
obviously very fond of it.
Community. The knowing that you belong.
Hello, Owen. Hello.
It's friendly considering that there isn't a focal point as such. It's not got an open post office or anything of that kind, or a pub or anything of that nature, no amenities per se. But I mean, it is difficult without amenities to create a community life. Although I think we do pretty well.
No, this is a village hall which we're doing up now. We're hoping to have a bar in there, have a nice little drinks and one thing or another, little shows.
I'm ever so pleased it's going to be done up and kept.
What would you want a village hall to be? What do you think it should be? If you started from scratch.
Focus for various activities that couldn't take place elsewhere. What it's always done. Functions, activities. I hope they retain some of the character.
In my constituency, village halls is one of the big issues, and now I've got actually 103 villages, settlements and hamlets, and people right across this area move heaven and earth to raise money to renovate their village hall and to make it have disabled access and all the other things that are needed. And the village hall is vital in communities like this because it is the meeting place.